I experience bipolar disorder, and bipolar disorder is a mental illness which is characterized by extremes of mood. From deep dark depression, where at its worst I can't get out of bed, I can't do my job, and I cannot look after my children, through to periods of mania where I can make very bad financial decisions. I believe I'm invincible. I believe I'm always right. Sometimes I'm not. And that can be very dangerous as well. But I usually say I experience bipolar disorder rather than suffer from, because there are bits in the middle which I would see as a strength. So, for example, my moments of greatest creativity are when I'm slightly manic but in control. I first realised that this was an issue for me when I was around about 30, so I was diagnosed quite late. I do have a belief that we all have mental health and we all oscillate on a continuum. I think I just oscillate a little bit more widely than the average. When I was first diagnosed, I received support from the NHS. I was very quickly put onto antidepressants, which is a fairly standard medical response. I was given the 6 counselling sessions you get on the NHS. I actually got those very quickly, so I couldn't fault the system at the time. CBT wasn't really for me. I didn't get on with it. So I think I got support from the system to a degree, but I also recognise that I've been fortunate enough to be in a position where I could fund different types of talking therapies to find ones over the years that have worked for me. I think the other thing that I did when I was first diagnosed was I started talking to a close-knit group of people. I wouldn't say I was open about my condition, far from it, but I did start to develop a support network of people who would check in with me and see, how are you? And, really just be there for me when I was in difficult times. And those people have sort of stuck with me through my journey. There is a funny thing when you're diagnosed with a mental illness, because you think, right, I've got an answer here, that I've got a label as to what's wrong with me that can be fixed. And you believe, okay, I'm being given this pill, this is going to fix me, or I'm going to go and talk to this professional, I'm going to get fixed. And for a while, that was the case. But then after a few months, it started to come back, and that is shattering, because you believe the medical profession can fix you, and this issue is difficult to fix, if it's fixable at all. And the lowest point I had was soon after that realization, and then it took years after that for me to get to where I am now, which I think is successful management of the condition. For me, I have a big issue with the question, how are you? People ask the question, how are you, how are you doing? And then the answer is, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm all right. And then it's almost like a ritual, they've moved on. I want to challenge people to ask that question and mean it, ask it twice if required, and then on the flip side, answer it honestly. Because some of the most meaningful human connections I've had are when a client, a person, a contact has asked me, how are you doing? And I said, well, I'm not doing so great today. I'm a 6 out of 10. I've got out of bed, but I didn't really want to, and I'm struggling a bit. And then that person has thought about it for a second. I said, well, yeah, I'm feeling a bit anxious because I've got a deadline and I've got a holiday coming up and I'm not sure how I'm going to make it all fit. And then we've spoken about that for a while and then got on to our business, but we've left that meeting feeling really connected. And for me, that just comes from answering that question, how are you? Truthfully, honestly, and with a bit of bravery.